All right, what's up, everybody? It's Jack. Welcome back. And supposedly, the title of Infinity Ward's next game, COD 2016, thanks to some recent leaks, I guess, is going to be titled, supposedly, uh, Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, when I first heard of this, I was thinking, okay, this could very possibly be something even crazier than Advanced Warfare, but um, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch are just they. Even though they all make Call of Duty, they all make different flavors of Call of Duty. So this could very well be just a very mild flavor of intense futuristic action. So it may not be as crazy as Advanced Warfare was, and at the same time, it may be even crazier. I mean, who knows? But I don't know. With the feedback that people have been given from Advanced Warfare, I'm pretty sure they're not going to go the too crazy route. But I don't know, man. With all this space combat rumors going around and stuff like that, they could do some crazy stuff that kind of, I don't know, takes away from the core formula of Call of Duty. Like, if you look at what Treyarch is doing, the only thing they changed with the maps, obviously, other than, you know, allowing the wall run spots, is they've added swimming. They've added the water, and you can swim from one area of the map to the other or whatnot in a sneaky way in some of the maps. But for the most part, they're very traditional maps. But Infinity Ward, for instance, with Ghosts, one thing that they tried to do was they were doing all these things where you can kind of interact with the map and kind of change a few things here and there. And I have a feeling that, it's just a gut feeling, could be totally wrong, but I have a feeling that they may go overboard with it if the title of this is true. You know, I mean, for instance, if it is space warfare and it's going to be called Infinite Warfare, I mean, they could do all sorts of crazy things like zero gravity, people floating all over the place, all that good stuff. So I don't know. I have mixed thoughts about it. And at the same time, infinite doesn't just necessarily mean infinite possibilities of the future, but it also means infinite possibilities of the past. That includes DLC. That includes weapons. I mean, they could bring back old weapons, and I'm sure the fans wouldn't mind that. Hell, I wouldn't mind. They can bring back all sorts of things. I mean, can you imagine them like as DLC, for instance, giving us the Spaz 12? But I hope they don't do it in like supply drops. Although supply drops gives them a whole ton of money, but it is highly a dramatic issue, and I don't want to go into that. And I mean, if you guys have any idea of what my opinion would be by watching me, if you've been watching me for a while, I think you would probably figure out what my opinions on the supply drops are. And yeah. I hope they don't take that route. I hope they try something a little bit different. But quite frankly, we can have some badass weapons as DLC from Blast from the Past, so to speak. So same thing goes with maps. Same thing goes with who knows? I mean, they might even somehow release the old games as DLC. I mean, going back to some of the things that I mentioned in my previous video is talking about all the old games we released or whatnot. But infinite possibilities can both mean something incredibly futuristic or something that pertains to the past as well, but they can't focus too much on the past because the whole Infinite Warfare title wouldn't make sense. And the space combat thing, you know, with the whole space combat thing, that wouldn't make much sense either. But, you know, they can just give it an old school feel with a futuristic coding. That could also be a possibility. And, you know, I got a feeling that the movement system is not going to be boots on the ground, and if it is, I'm sure they're going to implement some layer into it that'll kind of make it a little bit more versatile, which I don't have a problem with. As long as it's balanced and as long as it has that old school Call of Duty feel to it, I'm all for it. But yeah, I was actually very surprised when I heard Infinite Warfare. In some ways it makes sense because, you know, Infinity Ward, infinite, get it? But at the same time, there's so many possibilities, and supposedly on Tuesday, next Tuesday, May the 3rd, is when they are going to have an official announcement or an official trailer or whatnot. So I will be making another video on that because Call of Duty is basically, for the most part, all I play, at least until Nintendo's new console comes out, and then I'm going to get back into Mario and Donkey Kong and all that casual good stuff because I grew up on that, and that'll never leave my heart. So. But going back on topic here, yeah, next Tuesday is going to be the release of the official announcement or trailer or whatever. It's going to give us some sort of hint of what we could be expecting. So I will be making a video talking about that most likely. And also, you know, E3 is about 2 months away. So there's plenty to look forward to. And one thing I'm skeptical about is I'm just hoping and praying that we're going to have a beta. Because a beta is really going to basically help the game out a lot, and we really need it. And I don't think there has been an announcement yet of there being a possibility of a beta. As a matter of fact, some people are skeptical that there may not be a beta, so we will see. We do know as of recently that there's another company that's helping Infinity Ward out, making the game, which is definitely a good thing, because last I heard, although this was a few years ago when I heard this, Infinity Ward's studio doesn't have that many people working, which means that the game could suffer because you don't have as much manpower, which is absolutely understandable. Because that's what the problem with Ghosts was. They had a ton of consoles to do it on, and they didn't have enough manpower. That was part of the problem. So, but I'm glad to hear that there's going to be another studio working with them. I forgot what the name of their studio was called. I think it was called Elite something. I don't remember, but I'm sure if you look it up, you can find it. And with that being said, that's a positive thing. So more manpower, the better. And I think overall the game's going to be better off for it. We all know that Infinity Ward is going to, the connection is going to be good. Hopefully they don't implement skill-based matchmaking. Scrub-based matchmaking, I don't mind at all. Skill-based matchmaking is something that, in my opinion, only belongs in competitive. So, but with that being said, I'm going to keep an open mind, and I just thought I'd make this video and just give a few quick thoughts on the title, and it could go either way. And I personally think that Infinity Ward is going to try. I'm just speculating, just because of the title or whatnot. And what I'm thinking is they're going to try to simultaneously please both sides of the spectrum. And what that means is they're going to try to please the people that want the futuristic take, as well as the people that want the whole boots on the ground, old school Call of Duty. How they're going to do that exactly remains to be seen, but let's see what happens. They've had a full 3 years to do this. They're only, to my knowledge, they're only working on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, so that's a hell of a lot less consoles than they did for Ghosts. They have more manpower now for help as well, hopefully, and in that sense, things should go pretty well, I hope, and I'm going to be optimistic, and hopefully it's not going to be 3 strikes you're out for Infinity Ward, because there are things that Infinity Ward does do well. I think the weapon balancing is pretty decent for Infinity Ward, and I also think that the connection and the hit detection is absolutely superb, which is something that I think is great. And I hope they also bring back a lot of the community requests in terms of the game types, and I hope to see a new game type that really is a lot of fun to play, that pleases the masses in terms of the casual community, which is basically, like for instance, Cranked. I thought Cranked was great. The only thing about Cranked was it was difficult to get used to because it upped your sensitivity, but it was a whole hell of a lot of fun. It was a rushers game type, which was awesome. And they invented Kill Confirmed back in Modern Warfare 3, so and I love Kill Confirmed a lot. And I started to recently play it again, so I hope they come out with a new game type or two that is really, really pleasing to the masses. They're probably going to come up with 2 new game types. I'm going to assume one is going to be catered specifically towards competitive, and the other is going to be specifically towards pubs. And I think that's a smart move, because you got to please both sides of the spectrum, because there's so many people that like both. The top 95%, if not more, are the casual guys, the guys that do pubs, and actually people play campaign more than anything, which is I know that's shocking. So I think the campaign could be really, really good, especially with the whole, because if it is Infinite Warfare, they can literally go back through time and have some different versions of older missions or whatnot. They can go way forth into the future. I mean, really, in terms of campaign, you can please so many people that way. Multiplayer, they can also do the same thing. They can also give us some futuristic maps along with some old school maps with the release, not just DLC. And the same thing with weapons. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having, like for instance, let's say the Spaz 12 is a shotgun, along with futuristic weapons as well. It doesn't all have to be lasers and all this crazy crap that they can come up with. So. Because when it comes down to it, it is a game, and guns. The only thing that's different between all guns is basically how they feel. So it's not necessarily just about what they look and how they call. But I think a nod to the past weapons in the genre would be pretty sweet, and I think a lot of fans would appreciate that. So with that being said, I'm gonna be as optimistic as I possibly can. And that is my 2 cents just from the title. I know I kind of went off on a tangent on a few things that the game that I think the game should have or shouldn't have or whatnot, but that's all I'm going to say about that. And come next Tuesday, when the trailer comes out or release footage or whatever, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people making videos on it. I'm going to be making one in my opinion about it, I'm pretty sure, and hopefully it'll be something positive, and hopefully it's going to get the hype going for the next game, and hopefully come E3 they will announce that they will have a beta, because I personally think no matter what the game is going to be, a beta is only going to make it better, and a beta is also going to give us, the fans, a taste of what the final product will be like. Although it may change drastically, I mean, it's going to give us a taste, and it's going to promote the game as well. Not just YouTube-wise, but just for the general population, which is the most important part of the population, is the casuals. So that's pretty much all I had to say for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Oh, and one little update. Sometime within the next few videos that are going to be coming out, I just finished making an outro, but usually when I upload a video, I erase it right away so I can have plenty of memory in my hard drive or whatnot. But I will be saving them whenever I have a video, so that way you can in the outro you can see it, and you can click on like a previous video and go watch that straight away, because I've always wondered what it was like to have an outro, and I finally figured out how to make one. I learned and it was a lot of fun, so you'll be seeing that shortly. So anyway, with that being said, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. I'll catch you later.